Ay, ay, ay. Let's see if this works now. There we go. Are there people here? There's a thumbs up. Say hi if you're here. If you're here, leave a pizza roll in my comment section. Oh, man. Well, that traffic noise is probably audible. Say hi. Leave a comment. Say, hello, I'm here. I'm looking at your face. One at least. Lol. I don't know what that means. One pizza roll? Oh, one person. I got you. I'm a little slow-witted. Caleb, I scheduled that like a week and a half ago, and then my dad came up to visit, and I totally spaced on it, and then was like, oh no, I scheduled a live stream, so I rescheduled it for next Sunday. My father was here. We were going out to like eat and do stuff, so I ended up just trying to reschedule that. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of, I've been run ragged recently. What am I going to do with the Sony camera? I'm going to use it for weddings, take pictures with it, and I want to use it for video. Something a little bit smaller with that internal image stabilization seems appealing. So, yeah. I'm still going to take pictures with. You want us to talk you into a Hasselblad H100. Do you want to finance the Hasselblad H100? Because if so, then I'll take one. If you're going to donate the money for it, I'm all in. Let's do it. It's the same thing with Leica. Invariably, someone's like, well, how about a Leica? I'm like, how about it? You know, great. Like, you want to buy it for me? But no, I'm pretty much like, I want to stay around $2,000, if at all possible, is kind of the goal. And I'd like to... I really like the form factor on the Sonys quite a bit. I like the way they feel. They're smaller. I think they look nice. I know that's a stupid reason to buy a camera, but I do. I think they look good. And, compared to the way the Nikons and the Canons feel in my hand, I like them, and I do want full frame. And I was considering an A7R2. The A7R3 is going to be $3,500 before I put a lens on it, which is just... it's a lot of money. I mean, you're talking like a $5,000 kit to get started, and I can't, I'm not into it. Arthur, so I'm coming from Canon. I have a 5D Mark II, which I bought in like 2010, and I like it fine. Honestly, the camera that I'm most comfortable with in my hands at this point that I use the most is my Pentax 6.7, which is weird. Matthew, the A7 III has the dual SD cards. It has the 24 megapixels, and it's got the eye focus. I don't know if the A7R2 has that, but it has the autofocus on the eyes, which I guess works really nicely. So that's something I would consider. I don't even know if I'll be shooting any weddings this summer. I usually shoot a couple. I'm not a photographer by trade, but it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's a little bit of a side hustle. But it's something that I'd like to have open to me. You love it, Raphael? Yeah. I mean, for portraits, I think that big image, as well as for landscapes, would be really nice. DxO Mark, A7 III, Matthew. A7 III, my friend. A7 III. DxO Mark just released their markup, whatever you think of it, on the A7 III, and it scored really high all the way across, so it's exciting. So I was leaning that way. I considered a Nikon D750, but it's a little bit older of a camera. I'm not sure. The D810 and D850 are still priced a little bit above where I would want to be, and I've pretty much ruled Canon out just in general. As much as I liked my 5D. I just think they lag so far behind in sensor technology, and honestly, I used a 5D Mark IV at a wedding last fall and sort of hated it, if that makes any sense. I wasn't smitten with it, so I would rather No, Matthew, I was asking about the A7R2 versus the A7 III, both around $2,000. TB Photo, go with a brand with an established ecosystem. I use Nikon and F-mounts been around. I know adapters are a valid option. Yeah. Would you consider renting a system before buying? I mean, maybe, but that's you're talking a few $100s, and then that's just down the tube. And on an unrelated note, kind of fun, I just shot a roll with this. Speaking of ecosystems, it's the EOS 1000F with the Plastic Fantastic 50mm 1.8 on there, and I went out and shot it. It actually works really nicely. I was actually shocked at how well it works. The autofocus is a single point autofocus, but it seems pretty effective actually, and yeah, and it like the way it automatically like rolls the film and everything for you is really cool. Like puts it through there. It's neat. I was into it. I'm gonna do a video on at least one of these, and I do have plans for the rest of them, so stay tuned. But yeah, very cool. Hang on, my nose itches. I'm scratching it off camera. The comments like disappear when people. Let's see what did I miss here? Sony and use all your film lenses on. Yeah, it'd be great. I wonder what I could use. I don't have a ton of 35mm lenses. Is all. Most of my stuff's medium format. On the Fuji line, unless you need full frame, I would prefer to have full frame, honestly. Though I do like the Fujis quite a bit. I'm a little bitter towards the company Fuji in general, though, with their treatment of their film. A7R2 is the first Sony camera with great. The A7 III is noticeably better from what I hear. Cool. Which lens would you buy for the Sony? I would probably start with the 85-1.4. I know that those Sigma art lenses are coming out soon, and I would probably consider the 35 and the 85-1.4. Honestly, I would want a portrait lens, and I would want a landscape lens. That's kind of a landscape slash video lens, something a little wider. Is that new Ricoh you got from the mail going? She looks really nice. I'll take pictures with all of them. I need to. The big struggle for me in producing videos recently is I don't have a cameraman unless I drive to Buffalo and con one of my buddies into doing it. And I've been working a lot. I don't have a good job, but it's a job with a lot of hours. So I've been doing a lot of working. I've been really tired when I'm done. I work like late nights a lot of the time because of what I do. So I'll get home at like 2 a.m. and just be done. And then the next day, if I have a day off, I just want to chill, you know? So shoot on tape, I will. I'll go buy like go buy one of those big like shoulder mounted VHS camcorders and do my videos on that. Still need a cameraman for it. What do we got here? Let's go back here. That film camera is cool. I see you use my EOS 650 film camera. I've got one in that or 630 rather. That's the 1000. It's cool. It worked really nicely. I'm shocked. I'm gonna do a video on at least one of those. The Ricoh, yes for sure. Saving my pennies for the A7 III from your Scotch drinking Canadian friend. That's right. I drank some bourbon with my dad, and I made him a last word. He didn't like it at all. I need to get some rye and maybe make a final word. I use vintage lenses like the Helios 58mm and a Canon 50mm 1.4 on the A7R2. Yeah, I guess that's really easy, which is exciting and cool. The G-Master lenses are pretty expensive. It will be interesting to see if native Sigma can overcome the AF woes Sigma has had with the off-sensor. Yeah, sure. What was that a reference to? I'm sorry. Oh, what would basically equate to? No, I've got you. You can get a crap ton of cheap 35mm vintage glass for any mirrorless. Cool, for sure. I think I have some. I know the price of a lot of those lenses went up when the cameras became more popular, the mirrorless ones. Pentax M and Takumar lenses are great too. So so that was my first question. And that was my first question is which digital camera should I buy? The other question I had for you guys is I'm making a change shortly to be able to do more stuff, and I want to be more proactive. I actually want to approach the channel and photography in general as a part-time job. It's something where I'm really gonna grind on it and try to I guess grind at it. Maybe not grind on it. Maybe that's phrasing. But I want to do something where it's where I'm putting more time and effort into it, and because I'm uploading like once every 2 weeks, and that's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough to appease the Google Analytics monster. It's not enough that the algorithm. It's not enough to maintain a growing YouTube channel, and I know that. So I will have a little bit more time coming up. My question for you guys is, what is your favorite? Where is this the camera? I'm looking at the camera right now. It's very difficult to tell. This is my cell phone, but I actually own the Canon 85 1.8 Jeffrey. But what kind of content do you guys like best, and how many uploads would you like to see per week, I guess? Have you tried medium format for weddings? I've used my Pentax at some weddings, partially. There's a little squirrel right outside. He's eating something or other. There's some bass music. It doesn't have to be new TB photo. Used would be an option also. And I actually looked at a D750 for like $1,000 used, which would be a real viable option. It'd give me a newer, the squirrel's real cute. It'd give me a newer option for very little. Asian Cheese Toaster, what's up, my man? Asian Cheese Toaster is a live stream regular. Full frame is probably a requirement, yes. 8 updates a week. Jeff, you banned. You're on mute. You're no longer allowed to post. It's like a lot of those gaming channels. I'll give you three a day, morning, noon, and night. I'm just watching the squirrel dig around because the snow is melting. Because apparently spring is a real thing and not just a figment of my imagination. It was like 20 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and now it's like warm out. At least 2 to 3 a week, 3 max. I would like to do, ideally, and don't take this as any sort of like a promise, but what I would like to do is like 3, 2 of them being like more me talking about photography stuff that's come up in the news or doing things, and 1 that's like a dedicated hiking narrative or, you know, whatever gear review video that takes a lot longer. If that makes sense. I don't know. Any of you guys use the Kentmere film? The guy at the film store today was trying to sell me on it. He's like, it's a student film. I'm like, I'm not a student. I haven't been a student for a while. Once a week, but it needs to be on par with Ben Horn's content. All right, if you need me, I'll be in Utah trying to do that stuff. I think Ben Horn and I have different aims, though, with our channels, and I think that's fine, right? Like, we have different goals. We're doing different things. Ben's like someone who's like a master of his craft, who's like in pursuit of like these perfect, beautiful images, and he's doing these really, really polished, gorgeous videos about it. I'm an idiot who's just like trying to figure this stuff out and taking you guys along with me as I'm exploring all this different gear and stuff and trying to you know, kind of see what's what, and hopefully you guys enjoy taking that journey with me. I think that they're different aims, you know, ostensibly they're the same thing. They're both like film photography channels, but I think that we're going for different goals, and I think there's room for both of those. Yeah, Matthew. I agree with you. There's so many cars outside. Can you guys hear them? Probably. Oh man, am I tired. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Nobody will ever beat Ben at his own game. Oh, another thing. I'm starting a podcast. Speaking of Ben and some of those other folks. So it could be cool. Just keep your eyes peeled for that. Or ears peeled. Peel your ears. A7R2 user, I'd absolutely go for the A7 III over it. As much as I love the R2 and all the improvements, the A7 is completely outweigh the higher res unless you're in the studio. Cool. Good. Cool. That's good to hear. Make videos you feel the inspiration at the time. Your videos are well made and pleasant to watch. Don't rush through them. I mean, I just need to dedicate. Josh, you're blocked. That's never to be mentioned again. If you were into Sony, I would recommend checking out Gary Friedman's channel as a used FX. I don't understand what this comment means. If you're into Sony, Jerry Friedman's channel. Okay, I'll check it out. I would say Nikon D3. Oh, okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. I understand now. It all makes sense. It's all become clear. Oh. So, I don't know. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to touch on. That's what he said. Oh my goodness, I'm 12. OMG Daddy says Kanye West. Can I just block people on here? Is that even doable? Maybe not. I'm gonna put you in timeout. Familiar with focal reducers like the Metabone Speed Booster? You can use glass on a larger image circle on a smaller sensor. Use more of the image sensor less. Obviously, it's a compromise, but it's a great way to get near full frame performance out of your full frame glass on crop sensors. I never heard of that. Get a camera. I've got some cameras. I do. Got a couple. Yeah, I think that's everything. Well, let me scroll those. Is that like Majora, like the Zelda thing? Yeah, so have you used any of the JCH Street Pan 400? No. I've used like 4 films. I'd like to use more. Whatever you get, just go for it and don't look back. Yeah, I mean, I've had like I said, I've had my camera for honestly like 8 years at this point, so it's time to upgrade. But yeah. Do you ever watch the Framed show with Tanya and Ryan Muirhead? They would like they would take views along with shoots with different cameras and films. No, I really don't watch any film photography content on YouTube outside like people that I know, like Ben and Alan, and Matt Day, stuff like that. Like people that I've talked to and are kind of part of this community. I watch their stuff. Otherwise, honestly, most of the stuff I watch on YouTube is like internet comment etiquette with Eric and Red Letter Media and science stuff. Like that's like my YouTube diet, which is pathetic, but it's true. I'm not really into like I don't know. You can OD on film content, I think, or if it's what you do and a hobby of yours, you can really. It's good to be interested in more things. Does that make sense? I don't even know. Is there a large format film shooter's secret club? Not that I know of. I think there's some open clubs, maybe not secret. Yeah, buy a Kodak Super 8. I actually saw one at the antique store in Ballston Spa when I used to live up there, and I almost got it. And I thought it would have been pretty cool to do, but just the idea of trying to find a way to process the film and everything would have been pretty difficult. Talking about the motion picture film, right? The amateur like video film. That seemed like it would have been really difficult to scan or whatever and turn into usable YouTube content. I could be wrong. I don't know that much. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Looking at a new digital camera, looking at trying to pursue the channel a little more diligently now that I have a little more time, and hoping to start a podcast soon. I've OD'd and I'm in rehab for film content. It's been a 40-year struggle. Yeah, I know about the Kodak thing. It's very expensive, right? The new one. So here's my question. Do you guys have any other questions for me? I know this has been short. Oh, it's been 20 minutes. That's pretty good. But it's been a relatively short live stream. I just wanted to reach out and say hi to you guys and let you know that I'm still around. I'll do that live stream that was scheduled for yesterday. I'll do in a week. Do you? Yeah, Jeff, yeah, that's right. Don't hold your breath on anything Kodak promises. They're like a bad boyfriend who's just like, I promise, like, anytime now I'm going to do something. I don't know what bad boyfriends do. But yeah, do you guys have any questions for me? Anything you'd like to talk to me about, to check out, or what you think before I go? Oh, man. Get a job with normal hours. Have you been holding your iPhone up against... I have. Yeah, I don't have an iPhone. Oh, holding your phone. Yeah, I have. Yeah, just right up against the window. I can move it if you'd like. What digital cameras have you looked at? I've considered the D750. I considered the D810. I've considered I considered a Pentax K1. There's a dude walking by, just looked right at me. I considered those Sony cameras, and I briefly considered the Canon stuff. Because the D850 it's $3,500 without a lens on it. That's why I heard all. It's too much money. It's way outside what I want to spend. Kodak, why must you hurt us in this way? I know they're mean, right? Any new Mamiya stuff going on? Mamiya for life. I'd like to get some new lenses for the RB67. I'd like to get an RZ67. I'd like to get a lot of that stuff. The big thing is, and I do get a lot of like people suggest like you should try this film, you should do this, you should get this developer, and I get it. I get it. But all that stuff costs money, and I only have like a limited budget for everything, you know. So it's tough for me to afford all the stuff I want to do. So I try to find like a balance between stuff that I want to buy anyway and stuff for the channel. If, you know, I had 200,000 subscribers and a big Patreon and we're getting paid to make this stuff, then it would be like a different scenario, if that makes sense. But as it is right now, I'm a small, tiny little channel, and I pay for it all out of my own pocket, pretty much all the production stuff. So it has to be stuff that I would want to get anyway, you know, and it has to be stuff that's reasonable for me to get anyway, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, anything else? I'm probably going to call it. We're at 20 minutes. Len, that's where I'm at. That's pretty much where I've landed. I got to wait a couple of weeks for that to come out, but that's pretty much the consensus, and I think that's the way I'm going. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up and hanging out with me for 20 minutes. I appreciate it. Live stream next Sunday will actually be a real thing, and I'll have more time, so I'll be doing more stuff soon. As always, feel free to shoot me your comments. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or Instagram, but if you do want to talk to me or reach out, those are the best places to get a hold of me. Matthew, I've done the math. We're good. Like I know how to get where I need to get budget wise. I've thought about it, so I've really done a lot of looking and a lot of thinking about this. I just kind of wanted to know what you guys thought about those cameras. The A7 III will fit my budget fine. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. I will see you soon, I guess, and I look forward to hearing from you on social media, I guess. The Instagram link in your channel page is still broken. Yeah, the one that's on all the videos works. I'll fix the one on my channel page. It's like, my Instagram is like Eric Edmund. ERIKEDMUND. And if you want to message me on there, I respond to pretty much everybody. I do get like some people who like send me kind of creepy messages. I don't respond to those, but everyone else is cool. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.